On the streets again. This is a good one. This is a teacher of government, and what she believed or what she was teaching, I think I just changed her course. I think she's going to have to go back and maybe rethink what she's been teaching. She's believing quite a bit in in a lot of the lies that were being told in the program. She was nice enough, though. I mean, she was very good at listening. And I think she absorbed what I said. And so I hope this takes hold. These are the kind of conversations I like to have out there, where they actually might be able to make a difference. Because here's a woman that touches young people's minds, and she was halfway there. I mean, she seems like a sincere teacher and want to get to know the truth. But I don't think she knows what the truth is. She suspects it, but she doesn't know it. But hopefully I put her on a path here that she can explore and get into. So again, if you like this, you hit the like button. If you care, you share. And I do have some new designs up, some teas, which is another way of educating people, is through the imagery, and get them to think and ask questions. That's what we're here to do. Because if we're not here, not learning, what else are we doing? So let's get to it. Without further ado, on the streets. Thank you. Yeah. And so you teach government?
Yes, sir.
What grade? I mean, I guess.
Seniors.
Seniors? Mm-hmm. I'm glad to hear we're teaching government.
Yeah, me too.
I just spoke to a son and his mom, and he's in high school, senior, and he was talking about how he had to deal with the school political correctness, as it were, and he would get in trouble for tweets or making comments, that, I mean, he could suspend over things that were just so stupid.
Nitpicky?
Yes. Hopefully you don't have that in your school.
I try to refrain from engaging in social media where my biases would be shown, so that I don't present that in the classroom.
But it does come up in government, though, when you're teaching government.
But I try to present both sides of the issues.
Good.
So I'm not seen as trying to force my own political beliefs.
And what are your own political beliefs?
They're probably going to disagree with yours.
That's good. So glad she's teaching the kids.
She does do that.
Because I hear some of the horror stories, like I heard from this young man, that, how some of the teachers go out of the way to push.
Come around it and leave it alone, rather than teach somebody how to function in it.
Indeed. Well,
Talk to me about this one here.
Yes. WTC-7. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah.
No one's ever explained why it came down.
3 buildings. Be the man.
Yeah.
Like I said.
Yeah.
So you're not Democrat or Republican, you're pissed. I like that.
Yeah.
But you like Trump.
I mean, being the outsider that he was. I mean, because any outsider would probably want. I mean, they could probably run a hound dog. Right. Nobody wanted Clinton or Bush again. I mean, God. So, and that's why Bernie Sanders is popular. Right. Even though he'd been in, he's still kind of like viewed as an outsider. Yeah. But absolutely, I mean, you study this, I don't have to tell you, teach it. Our system is completely corrupted. It has become corrupted because
and this, you know this, again, and correct me for anything I'm saying is wrong here, teacher, because I love it when I get corrected so I can learn things. It's a cycle. I mean, democracy becomes successful. People give up their liberties, and and bad people take advantage of the liberty, the freedoms that we have, and put themselves into power if we're not vigilant. And then, of course, in this cycle, it becomes corrupt. We have a revolution of sorts. Our voting was supposed to stop these revolutions, but over time, even they become corrupt.
What are your thoughts on the Trump attack on free speech? I mean, he's kind of coming hard after that, don't you think?
Trump's attacking free speech?
Well, I mean, everything's fake news.
Everything is fake news.
Not everything.
Well, here's the deal. And now we're in my area of expertise. Okay.
Let's do it. InfoWars.
Thank you. So you know about it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I've been a guest on the show several times.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Just was up to Branson, Missouri, and met Owen Schroyer, and he's threatened to come out here and do a couple of days with me. I'm suggesting doing it like French Quarter Festival or something.
Nice.
The streets are packed. But yeah, there are basically three kinds of propaganda. It is white, gray, and black. Mm-hmm. White basically tries to tell the truth. Gray is probably the most insidious because it blends truth with lies. Mm-hmm. And then black is just outright lying.
So would you consider Breitbart black?
No.
Ooh. Okay.
I could. Well, that would be pure lies.
Yeah.
So I would consider them gray.
Okay.
But different shades of gray too. Here's the deal: is white propaganda might be InfoWars. Let's say we've already brought them up. They try to project the truth, and the litmus test here is basically: are they taking commercial money?
Correct.
Because if you're taking commercial money, you're obviously at the dictate of the, matter of fact, yesterday, I talked to the former producer for Hardball with Chris Matthews.
Yeah.
So I immediately hit her, because I didn't have much time with her, I immediately hit on her that nobody believes the news anymore. She goes, well, there's a reason for that. I go, can you explain that reason to me? She goes, well, I haven't got the time. I says, let me shorten it for you. You lie.
Yeah.
And you don't lie, may not lie outright, although you sometimes do.
Yeah.
Most of the lies are through omission. What you do not tell us about 9/11 and the omissions of all the information that's there, that's never reported. So I gave her some information on that. When Trump calls the media, because they are indeed at the bequest of the corporate masters that pay them. Look who owns them. Always follow the money. So the only reason they really exist is to keep the powers in power. Telling us the truth is the last thing in the world they want to do, and that's why they're shutting down.
I can give you that, 100%. Yeah. But he doesn't tell the truth either.
Well, what's he lied about?
Well, there's been so many, I can't think of just one.
You see, now that's the standard answer I get from anybody I ask this question to, which is part of the programming. You understand, if you're watching anything on TV, they don't call it programming for nothing. One of the things that we were up in Branson about was there were scientists out there, and a lot of it was about the transhumanism and the mind control that they have been using on us for decades.
Yeah.
All of us are being mind controlled to a degree. All of us. So the programming, what you just said to me, is a program response.
Yeah.
When I ask for a specific, can you give me one?
Yeah.
Can you give me one? You say, so when you say, oh, he's made so many, give me one.
Well, what about witch hunts and this stuff didn't happen?
It is a witch hunt. When you look at the evidence of what's gone down, I mean, just look at the basic evidence. We have a phony dossier that was paid for by the DNC and the Clinton Foundation. Mm-hmm. that was to bring up phony charges, go to a FISA court with phony evidence, to start a phony investigation on Donald Trump. I mean, for 2 years now, we haven't had any evidence of any Russian collusion. There is none.
Well, there is evidence that there was Russian collusion, just whether or not he was involved in it.
Where is that?
Everywhere.
Again, you're giving me a very bland...
Okay, well, you can find it on a simple Google search provided by any major news
and
network.
What they did, and what they found out in the investigation, and this is what they found out, that indeed the Russians did pay Facebook $5,000 for some Facebook ads. Mm-hmm. That was what they said triggered the election. Here's the kicker. Most of those ads appeared after the election were in Russian. This whole thing is fake, just like this is fake, just like they lied. Now, if they can lie to us about 9/11 and bring up this entire thing as an attack by 19 hijackers, which is a total bullshit lie, and get away with that, why can't they get away with the lies that you're believing now?
I don't know.
I do, because right now they are getting, if you're believing them, because you understand, they do, like I've said, they do not have our interest at heart. I'm going to give you why. And this came up in the conference I just went to. Mm-hmm. They don't need us anymore. AI, robotic technology, is going to take... I asked a professor from Harvard this question, and the answer he gave was cold. I says, what is AI robotic technology going to do to the people out here walking around in the next 10 years? And he says, well, about 50% of them will be out of work. I said, okay, what are we going to do with all these out of work people? He looked at me and said, in the past, we've killed you. And that's it. They don't need us anymore. The only reason the elites needed us to this point is because they needed slave labor.
Mm-hmm. They don't need that anymore.
They don't need us anymore. Anytime in the past when they didn't need us, they starve us to death, they take us to war, they kill us out, they poison us, they do whatever again to get rid of the excess, useless food eaters, as Henry Kissinger calls us. Mm-hmm. So now that this is rapidly coming into the fold, where more and more people are going to be put out of work, where less and less skills are needed, then what do we do with all these useless food eaters? They're going to kill us. And if we don't stop them, they will wipe out the human race. They will merge with machines, as I think Ray Kurzweil promotes, and become living gods forever. This is their plan. I know it sounds fantastical, but it is real as death. And this is what they're doing. It's in everything we see. The iPhones, people that cannot connect with reality anymore.
Right.
But when you're watching and listening to these guys tell you the lies that are being projected, because you judge a person also by who are his enemies. Okay, who are Trump's enemies? His own party didn't want him in. The media certainly didn't want him in. Hollywood was totally against him. Silicon Valley was totally against him. Now Pope was against him. And now we're finding out that the Department of Justice was weaponized by the Obama administration to be against him. And then we're finding out through Project Veritas's latest videos that indeed McCarthy was right. Our government is infested with radical left-wing communists.
Wow.
I mean, look at the videos. They're there. They're in their own words. It's not mincing. So,
you're recording me right now.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I mean, everybody's got to be taught one way or the other.
Okay.
You know?
I didn't know that.
And from the conversation, I mean, I learned from my conversations out here, from the people I run into people all the time know a hell of a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
So I learned from them.
I'm a move. I think these people are ready to move on.
Well, thank you. Here's a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton for you.
Oh wow, I like that.
And you'll be able
that
to.
you,
Yep.
Michael?
And you'll be able to see this conversation.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
All right, guys.
Have a good one.
All That was fruitful.